finish this sentence, due to COVID. And then you can pretty much say whatever you like, and it seems as though nobody can question us. This is brilliant, isn't it? You can just kind of get away with anything because, we've been told to take extra precautions. This thought fleetingly crossed my mind the other day because a lot of my son's class were ill, they had COVID. And I just for a moment thought, well, if I just said he had COVID, then I wouldn't have to do the school run because it is kind of dark and cold out there. And then I kind of came to my senses. But I thought about it. I thought about using the COVID excuse. And I think that brings up a really interesting question about trust. Some of us have been working from home or working online, and we may not even have met some of our work colleagues. So how do we know if we can trust someone? And how do we know if someone means what they say? Now, the first thing you might say, well, it's all about good communication. And of course, good communication is key. But that brings its own problems because even if you think you're being really clear about what you're saying, that's only half of the story. How someone receives what you're saying is an entirely different ballgame. And this was evidenced to me a few weeks ago when I was having a conversation with friends that I really trust, who I've known for 20 years, and we're both running businesses, and we were talking about our business strategies. And he was weighing up option A and option B. Now, privately, I thought option B would be what I would have gone for, but I deliberately didn't say anything because it's his business and I didn't want to influence a decision. Interestingly, a few weeks later, he said, it's really interesting that you thought option B as well. Now, I did not say that, but he'd obviously carried on processing it in his mind and, perhaps filling in the gaps. And that's what we do. So I think the first thing we need to acknowledge is even if you are crystal clear in your communication, there will still be misunderstandings. And that doesn't mean you can't trust someone. So how do we trust someone when communication is so difficult, particularly when we're deprived of, verbal cues or a long relationship to fall back on? Well, I think one of the places we can start is by being really transparent about our values and wearing that, and living up to those values. So just a really simple one for me is I kind of have a pathological hatred for being late. Now, if I've ever been late for you and you're watching this video, then I am really sorry. I want you to know I don't think it's okay to be late, because when I'm late, what I'm saying is my time is more important than yours, and I don't believe that anyone gets to say that unless they're running the country. So one of my values is don't be late, and I see that as a basic sign of respect, because what I'm saying is your time's as valuable as mine and I won't waste it. And I try to project that value so people know what they're getting with me, and I try to be consistent with that value. Now, I won't always be, but when I'm not, I make sure to let people know that I'm not okay with this and I have messed up, I didn't give myself enough time, etc., etc. I'll make sure that I'm on time next time. Now, that might be because of the military upbringing, if you like, but it's just an example of how we can hopefully develop that trust by being very clear about what we stand for, and then actually backing that up consistently with action, and then owning up to our mistakes when we do. So what do you think? How do we develop trust, particularly in a work environment where maybe we don't have the same kind of interaction as we used to? Or how do you develop trust if you think someone's broken it in the past? That's another conversation, but I'd love to know your thoughts. So comment below and let me know how you develop trust and what the key factor is for you.